Buyers are winning. They launched an attack from 80 evens, 79.50. We were trading the LVM before sellers stepped in at 81.50. They're forming an auction sell side between 80.50 and 80.25. Nasdaq is rallying lower. Nasdaq sells off big time, and they run out of liquidity at 79.25 before buyers step in. I'm gonna set a limit there and stop 3 ticks away. I want to see upticking from 79.25, and I want to see buyers defend it. They're already stacking the queue, so I missed my entry. If we can get back ticking there, then I'll get in. The auction, the majority of the auction's right there, and the buyers stepped in there at 79.50. I'm waiting for them to lower the queue, but it looks like they're going to stack it again. I was wrong. 79.25, when they plunge again, it's 25 to 6, 15 to 16 to 13. So sellers are losing. They pulled the orders by the looks of it. But I'm looking for upticking and the ask shifts lower. I'm looking for this. Right now it's doing this, so it might be time to scratch. A buyer steps in, and then a seller sells market, and the buyers aren't willing to give it up. I'm going to set a limit there and get out. To scratch my exit. Now I'm looking for nothing. I'm just watching the market. Liquidity dries up at 80 evens. 13 and 10s, 27, so buyers are still winning. They stack the queue again. They're hitting sellers now. Sellers replenish at 80.50. And so we're trading at VPOC. This would just be a basic 2-3 tick mean reversion play from the buy side because they're winning. The queue dries up at 80 evens on buy side before moving higher, so they restack it, and sellers are still losing. There aren't many active participants, and a buyer hits 19 at 80.75, then 33 at 81 evens, so we're back at the higher point of the auction. Sellers begin to step in now at 30, 81 evens. They lose the queue again and stack it at 22s, and now there's back ticking. So I'm going to trade 81s with a stop at around here. I hit the wrong order, man. Shucks. I'm going to scratch the trade for for a $50 loss because I pressed the wrong button. 80 evens. 80 evens. Sellers are still winning. They got in at 80.75 and around there, 81s. I can't remember. The buy queue is pretty heavy though. I want to see if they replenish. I don't want to put a position here because we're thin on the inside prints at 80.25. There's an auction at 81 evens and 80.75. So it's an uptick again, an uptick again. Then they offer lower. They walk it lower. Sellers are pushing now. They're stacking the queue. We see a little uptick from buyers. That's where the initial start of the move came from on buy side. Down by 79.50, about a tick away. I'm tempted to get short here. I'm going to get short. And then I'll set a limit 2-3 ticks away. Or I'll press the wrong button again and automatically be long and have to scratch out. And right there for break even, I'll set a limit. Okay, left click, limit. Right click, stop. Okay. The auction shifts lower at 80 evens. 19 and 12, 9 and 17. Sellers are winning. I'm gonna scratch my trades and lower on the queue, I think. Buyers stepped in here big time at 79.25. Sort of wary of. Somebody threw 21s down there in the previous rundown and it did nothing. They just got super absorbed. The fact that we're trading down here tells me the value is shifting lower. I'm gonna left click and then right click and see if I can get a breakout lower as long as sell pressure persists. 27 and 57 tells me buyers are getting absorbed and sellers are still there. Whereas in the previous area they weren't. Now I'm looking for them to follow through. I'm going to move this 3 ticks back. We see upticking from buyers now, which isn't what I really want. They're sitting on the Q now at 79.75. They pull and buyers lose. Then we see upticking from buyers. I want to see if the Q stack. That's what it appears to be doing. The ask lifts and they're bidding 79.25. I'm gonna scratch and go with buyers. I'm gonna set a limit to 3 ticks down. 3 ticks. Right click. And I'm looking for buyers to chew through, but that's not the case right now because the ask is lowered. See some upticking again, and then price moves lower. So I was wrong. I'm gonna get out now. So there's big sell pressure. I don't need to have a position on every 5 seconds. We see uptaking from buyers 80.75, and then the shifting of the auction lower. Some more upticking before they sell it lower. I don't think they're gonna fill me here on this limit. I'm gonna put a stop here. More upticking, but sellers are drilling down now through that offer. There's aggressive participants now. There's a right click again. Get out there. Sellers are drilling lower. Liquidity appears to have dried up on the maker side. So we're out of buyers, and there needs to be an auction there. I think it's going to rebound in these thin spots because there are no active participants whatsoever. And then I think people get liquidated here. I'm going to join buy side. If they did, it should move up fast. There's a fill. We see upticking, and I'm going to set a market. I'm going to set a limit there. See more upticking. The offer's plunging lower though on the sell side. I was wrong. I still think people get liquidated though. Down here, the auction dries up, and there's strong buying on buy side. They move up. I'm going to set a limit there and stop 2-3 ticks away and see if I can get a fill. I was right. So I was just a couple ticks off. And they rally, and buyers should push the Q up through this thin spot. Let me see if I can chase it. Stack the Q again. The offer lifts higher. It's 9 now. If they let's see if they replenish. Should be a left click. Okay. And buyers are winning 14, 9, 24. We're seeing upticking. We stack the Q again, 26 at 77.50. We're back in the previous auction. If sellers stack here, I want to get out. They lift the offer again, and I'm going to scratch the rest of my orders. So just to be clear, we came through down here. There was no active participant there at 77 evens. The tape was empty. There needs to be a buyer and a seller for an auction to happen. And then the inside prints that did hit on the market side, I assumed were liquidation orders because they were in the thin spot of the profile. And then buyers rallied it up. We can probably expect some sort of traversal to VPOC, but I'm scalping 2-3 ticks away because I can only trade flow. If I was trading the profile, my win rate would be lower. Sellers stack the Q now. I'm looking for an auction on the inside prints. You can see they stepped in at 77.75 and 77.50. They jumped it higher now, and buyers are aggressively attacking. I'm going to see if I can join the queue here and set a stop right there. They got me out. I'm going to try to join again. Set a stop right there. See if I can hit the queue. Buyers plunge 13, 15s, 25s, 6, 24s. They're still attacking upside 78, 25. There was upticking 31, 42. They stack the queue. So sellers are defending that level now. I'm going to set sell right there. I'm going to get out for one tick because they hit the queue again. Though it lifted on the offer again. There were 240s there, and now there's a 50. They're reloading. They're going to eat through this order, I can already tell. I think put a limit there and right click out here. And I'm going to try to get them to hit this auction upside. 40 is the restacking now. They should fill me here because the 37 might eat through the queue and buyers are so strong they just go without it. I'm going to scratch my entry now. Buyers. Hello. Uh-oh. We see a seller step in at 78.75. No, they're asking lower. They defended 79 evens. And they're hitting the bid. Okay, buyers stuff the queue now. And off of that, we're upticking. They're defending it now. 13 and 12s trade, which tells me the auction's right there and the buyer's offering higher. I'm going to sit here and wait for the queue and put a limit back there below the 78.50. I don't think they're going to fill me though because buyers are pushing higher. I need them to empty the queue at 79 evens and then the buyer who's there at 78.50 to step in again with the buy pressure to push up into the volume, the HVM high volume node. They just shift the auction without me and my order looks like it's stale. A 78.50, the queue is lightened. They stack two orders at 79 and 78.75. The auction on inside prints is shifting higher. We see an active participant at 79 evens. We just saw somebody throw 6 on sell side. But we see the print up anyways. I'm going to set an order here. I want to see if they can shoot through this. I might lower my pass. 11s, 27s. So the seller steps in there, right? I'm not interested in taking that. I'm just going to get my 2-3 ticks and get out. They stack the queue now. 24s. Sellers are losing. So we're forming an auction here and they fill me. I'm going to scratch. I'm going to scratch and blow my nose is what I'm going to do. My inhaler. God. Okay. $21, $79.50. Sellers are stacking the queue now. That's good news. Looks like there's a reversal trade in play. They're laddering lower on no active participants. 14 and 11. I think they're gonna restack again. I hit the wrong button. I'm gonna Throw this here. 13, 8, 35. They're offering higher now, still attacking. I can't believe I'm just giving away money because I pressed the wrong button. 36. There's still no reaction from sellers. We're pushing it lower, even though I'm looking for a short. I want to see down ticking like that. It down ticks one time, or some sort of stacking of the cube before they lift higher in VPOC. Now the auction shifts right there. I'm going to left click and then right click, and see what I can catch. Left click again. Oh, it hit my entry. It hit my exit. Put a stop limit right there. Sell limit right there. Eights and 17s, 10s. They fill me and I scratch. I scratch the rest of the orders. Okay, there's more upticking now, but the auction's right there. I'm going to sell there, right click on the offer there, and then left click down here at the bottom of the auction. I want to see sellers step in. 51 in the queue doesn't bode well for me. They fill it instantly. Okay. They're plunging now, sell side. I want to see them hit 79, which is the bottom of the inside print auction from sell side at VPOC. But if they keep offering higher, eventually it'll shift up. 51 again, which tells me buyers aren't willing to give it up. The queues stacked and buyers are winning. If they fill it again, that might mean that sellers are willing to defend the level. 11, 9 to 16, 10 to 16. They ladder it lower. Nobody refills the queue on the buy side, which is very interesting. It tells me they're weak, but the offer was still at 80 evens, and they backtick up into 80, 50. I almost said -1 because that's where my entry is. If they stack the queue again, it's 11-11 right now. 30 sellers are winning. They fill out 80 evens. And the auction's dried up liquidity side though. I'm not really interested in holding this trade anymore. There's no more auction. And buyers are winning. So it's time to set a limit break even. 24s. Seller steps in again, so there's down ticket. Give mine take of room because of a passive participant pushing the market lower. But they can't break the floor, which is 80. And they can't hit the other side of the auction. They just keep bidding it up. Okay, they broke the other side down. I'm going to move my stop a tick. Then they offer lower, 12 and 14, 18. It's like the offer might be replenishing a bit. 14, 14s, 13. The bid is at 13.79.75, and the offer is winning because it's 14 right there. They replenish and plunge higher off of the 53s again. So somebody is looking for an order filled between 80 evens and 79.25s to the tune of 64 and 250s. So there's size right there. And the fact that we're eating through it tells me that we might go lower, that we might not eat through it this time. The fact that there is size just tells me intuitively, if I wasn't trading and somebody said there was size at 79.75, I would just get out. That's why my stop is break even, irrespective of the trade. I can hope and pray and say, oh, maybe they hit 50s at 79.75. But realistically, when there's an order of that size, it insinuates buy pressure, right? Obviously, which makes me want to get out. If a passive participant holds the auction and I can get a fill at 79.50, that's fine. But realistically, I'm not going to do that. And they're going to hit me out here. 18s and 9s. They offer lower. The auction's still on inside prints at 80 even, 15 and 77. So it doesn't look like they want to eat through that wall anymore. And we see upticking from 80.25. I'm actually going to take my one tick here if they'll give it to me. If we can eat through the queue one more time, it'll give me a tick. Eights. Looks like we're running out. They stack the queue again on sell side. Eights, 11s, 9s, 18. They stack the queue again. I'm out. That offer disappeared. It stacked up again. 79.46, and they plunge after upticking like that for a while. So I have to throw my coat on. I'm cold. I was right. We're at 80.50 now. There's an attack from buyers at 80.50, 80.25, and 80 evens. Past the VPOC, and they're plunging it higher. I want to be on that. I'm going to set a limit there. I'm going to look for the edge of a previous auction. It might be too early. Looks like it's too early because there's an immediate back taking down to my stop. And then 26 at 80s. We'll see if they hold the floor. If there's back ticking down there, we might move the stop. 34, losing the floor now. They don't really plunge that much. They want to hold it in the auction shifts. 20 is absorbed, so it's time to get out. Let me close that. So the auction's there now, and sellers step in. I'm gonna left click here. Click there. Left click here. Of 20, they stack the queue, sell side. See some uptaking from buyers. Liquidity drives up on the inside prints. And then a push from buyers at 79.75, 79.50, and 80. That might have messed me up. It's okay. We see an uptick. 12 and 11, 8. Buyers, sellers replenished, underfilled, 15. And they're sitting on the offer. I want to see it backtick a little bit at least. If it doesn't, that might be all she wrote. There's a 43 there. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put my tick. I'm gonna put my stop. 3 ticks away instead. 22. Buyers are winning, and then we see an uptick almost immediately. And buyers push higher. So it looks like this looks like a gross misread of the market. I'm gonna hold it. Now we're losing the floor. It's time to get out. I don't want to lose the floor, and maybe I can like hope and pray and hang on to this trade, but we both know that's the wrong decision. And the inside prints are shifting higher. It's gonna stop me out in a minute. There's 29 on the bid and 15 on the ask. They replenish. Epoch shifts. And then 14, 18, 13. It doesn't bode well because I thought it was going to stop me out. It didn't. I'm not happy that that I won the trade. I wish it stopped me out because that meant I was right. And so they sell all the way down from around 80 to down here. I want to see if liquidity dries up. There's still sell pressure back ticking. See more back ticking again. But now we're seeing upticking and an increase in speed of tape. And it looks like they're going to rally it without me. I'm going to right click there and left click there past Epoch where the move started. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're sitting on the floor at 79.50 now. 79.25 is where my offer is. See if they can eat through the queue a bit, and they immediately replenish it. I'm gonna be chasing. It's already at my entry, at my exit. I mean, so it's time to scratch the orders. And the inside prints are shifting higher. Okay. 15 and 14, 22. I'm trying to remember where we came from. VPOC is right there at 80. There are buyers and they're moving lower on buy 79.75, which tells me from the inside prints, which tells me that sellers are in control. Let me see some more back ticking there. I'm going to hold the floor there, right? And then a stop there and an exit probably at the previous auction. The exit should be a left click. Yeah. 27 and 6, 8 and 16. They eat through the queue. There's an immediate backtaking again. Buyers push it higher and then it immediately sells off on the sell side. There are 28s and 27s. Now we're offering lower. Little plunge from buyers. 13, 6, 11, dual 11s. They're just sitting there now, which means I'm winning because price moved lower and then there's consensus between the two. Now the bid doesn't reload and the offer sits there, which tells me that sellers are also winning again. It reloads again, right? And then 20s, 14s, they reload the offer. I'm going to get out. Okay. 3 and 9, 3 and 2, 15. Sellers are still in control because there's down ticking. see some upticking now. I'm still trying to wrap my legs because I'm cold. Mm, I'll be back. Okay. Oh. It looks like sellers at the offer at 80, 78.50 down to 77.75. Tape dries up. They sit on the offer and plunge it to 77.75 buy side. 78.25 now. Sellers appear to be holding the floor. If we lose the floor, I want to get out. Right click, 1, 2, 3 ticks away. Left click down at the bottom of the auction. Might be asking too much. 6 and 5, 10 and 9, 6, 20s. Sellers are winning. The floor is flat. We see more uptaking at 78.75. I'm not interested in trading it. Nasdaq lifts it higher. We see more down ticking from sellers because they're winning. 32 and 8. 32 disappears and a 10 replaces it. The bid ask evens out. 16 and 19 and buyers win. We see an uptick now, and there isn't really much of a step back. If it happens again, I'm going to move my stop and take a 2-tick loss. 34s. More upticking from buyers now. I'm on the wrong side of the trade. I'll leave it there and take the 2-tick loss. Or is that 1, 2, 3 ticks? Okay. I think. They walk it down again, 36 and 9, and they fill me. And then they walk it down after they fill me, which is fine. Liquidity dries up and the bid thickens up. Off of 2 sellers there. I'm going to sit on my hands for now. '40s, we're back at the highs. We're upticking now, looking for higher prices. Nasdaq holds. 14. I'm going to try to get long here. I'm tempted to extend my stop because I lost the previous trade, but I'm only saying that out loud so I cannot do it. You're still uptaking, though the ask reloads at 34. 56, so I'm losing. 19, sellers are losing. And they somehow filled me jumping that low. So there are obviously things I don't understand yet. 79.50. Auction shifting higher. Some back taking. 79.25. They plunged again. Sitting on the offer. We move higher now. I should probably check news. It's already 8th, though. They sit on the offer again at 79.50. So they're just forming a balance area right there. 8 and 19, 32, 79.50. More upticking. I want to get long here off the upticking. I set my stop. I'm going to target here and my stop. Oh, I went long twice. And my stop there. I want to see them hold the floor. We're not holding the floor. $14, $12. Buyers are losing. $22. Buyers are still losing. $36, $25, $19, $13, $20. They're sitting on the offer now. Buyers reload and then they're absorbed. We throw 26s and nothing happens. It's not looking good. And then they plunge 79.50. We offer higher. I'm looking for some sort of rally here. What? Oh, that was supposed to be a left click, probably. Right? Yeah. So I'm still ruining my hotkeys. I'm a bit burnt out. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Mm. Oh boy. High boy.
I'm back. I nearly passed out, but I'm back. Speed of tape is picking up. They're defending the floor. They're holding the floor now. They sold off without walking in it. Hit my entry. We're rallying here. Floor holds. 15. More upticking. More upticking. They sell off. The floor. They lose the floor. See how they're holding. 63.50. Bro. I keep hitting the wrong button. The auction shifts lower. Tape stops. And they sell lower. There's upticking there. More upticking there. If I can get a lucky fill, buyers are going to rally it here. They come down again. Tape sits there. They fill. If they sit there, I'm going to get out. So uptick from there. I'm looking for them to rally it. They're sitting on 59.25, 15s, 18s. Some back ticking now. I'm going to move my stop. 3. They're still sitting there. They filled me. They're walking it up now. They're still walking it up. Bro, what? I pressed the wrong button. They walk it down now. They're still sitting on the bid. And they walk it down on sellers. Still sitting, upticking. Get long there. A stop there. Sold off. They're selling lower now. Tape stops there. Bit of a rally to the upside. There's no absorption. Back ticking there. Sellers, the auction shifts. Tape stops. I hit right click on accident. They're pushing lower. It rallies higher. Tape stops again after a seller steps in. We see some upticking now from buyers, more upticking. I can get a lucky fill there and then get out there. More upticking. Tells me to move my stop. More upticking, more upticking. Come back to the entry and they fill me. I'm going to try again. More upticking. I want the floor to hold. We're losing the. Yep, the auction shifting lower on sellers. So my stop is good. 2 ticks away. I'm going to stretch the trade. I'm going to try it again. They're just not going to give it to me. They're sitting on the offer again. The auction shifting lower. I pressed the wrong button. I keep hitting right click and marketing in. Tape sits there. Buyers are winning. Tape sitting there now. Some back ticking. Buyers reload. Sellers reload. They're holding the offer. They walk it down. I should have set my stop break even. If I, and then, no, I have to move it manually. So I'm just losing for like no reason now. 11 and 3. Sellers are rugging it lower. Right, just the down ticking. Then tape stops and they walk it higher. I'm gonna stop doing that right now. There's more down ticking. They're defending the floor here. They filled me on the limit. They're still walking it up. Tape stops here. They plunge 79. There's a bid there. Buyers are in control. I went long here on accident. I'm gonna get out. Back ticking, the seller's absorbed there, and they walk it higher. We're sitting there. I'm gonna move my stop break even because it was an accidental trade. We see down ticking lower. Sellers are still getting absorbed, and the buyers are offering higher. 13, 24. They're gonna hit this. If they eat through it, they appear to be eating through it. 14, and then tape runs out, and they defend the floor, and buyers plunge back to 60, 75. 15, 26. There are more buyers there. You're gonna rally it without me. We're sitting there on the offer. Little absorption from buyers and then a push higher. The market maker pulls. There's no plunge there, which tells me to get short here. Set a bid there to get short here. All right, and then to set a bid there and to set an offer at 116. Move the stop and tick back. They stop me out anyways. On the fill, it looks like they pulled. There's more upticking. Sellers push and are absorbed. If I can get a lucky fill there. And they rally off that large order. I'm going to trade against. I'm going to try to. Then we see down ticking there. That large order disappears, which isn't good. See some down ticking. I move my stop there. Holding the floor and upticking now. The auction shifts. I'm going to try to get long on this side. The stop there. Target there. I'm just looking for them to plunge it higher because of the upticking. Just what they do. 2, 3 ticks. 22. We run out of tape. And they come back down and stop me out. But we still hit that again. To try to get in again. 108. They don't want to give me a fill, and it looks like they're going to pull it higher. The auction's still shifting. Sellers step in and appear to be absorbed. We're down ticking now. 32s, 34s, 17s. The offer shifts lower. Some upticking now. I'm out. Walk down. Buyer gets absorbed. We're flat. They walk it up again. 28s. So there's more buy side demand again. Tape stops. They offer higher. The bid is losing compared to the ask. They're kind of chewing through it on maker side. I mean on market side. 41, liquidity dries up. Kind of now or never, we're losing pressure. 15, 13, we lost the sell pressure. Give it 2 ticks of room, I'm gonna get out. 48, 29. 51, sellers are in control. There has to be room for this stop. I'm watching flow now, 39 and 40. Sellers appear to be winning. More down ticking. The auction shifts lower. They pull it lower here. They get out there. 13 and 9. Sellers refill. They're pushing momentum down now. Or do that and set a limit there. 33, 30, 25. Buyers plunge. Sellers don't really step in. Scratch for 2 ticks. More upticking now. The edge of the profile. Sellers lost here and buyers are in control. I set one there and a stop there and a limit there. I'm looking for upticking. I want to see the queue fill. The seller steps in there. The auction shifts lower, which isn't good. Then a buyer steps in there. They're holding the floor, but when we lose it, it's time to get out. 21. Bid there. They're holding the auction. Tells me to move my stop back. 23, 22, 25. They plunge. The seller's about to lose. Little back ticking, and then they offer, and then they lift the offer. 21, 27. Big pressure from sellers there. I don't want to be in this trade anymore. I'm gonna sit on my hands. They rally it higher. Keep in mind we came off the low of day. The general trend is upward back to mean reversion, I believe. They push higher again. Some aggressive back ticking now from sellers stepping in. I'm gonna try to catch it. I caught it in the opposite direction. I try to catch it again. I pressed the wrong button. So I just lost for no reason because I pressed right click instead of left click. There's upticking now from buyers. 14, the auction shifts in my favor. There's more. We move down. 19, auction's still there. 8 and 2, liquidity dries up. We're still forming a balance area here. Sellers step in, and they appear to be holding relative to sellers step in, which is interesting. Stepping in. 19, they reload and they lift the offer. Liquidity dries up there. 7 4, so they can't get below that. This trade looks like it's in pretty good shape. And then sellers get absorbed again. That just tells me we're going higher. 51, market orders be at market orders. 66, a buyer steps in there. 33, we dry up. And the queue begins to backtick. I'm out. '72 is absorbed right there, and then they move it lower. We see price offering lower back into this value area. The sell queue is stacked again. Sellers are winning. I pressed the wrong button. And I paid an uptick in the market. The auction shifting lower. I'm looking to see how this plays. And they offer lower again, which is a sign of bearishness. 20 and 18. I'm going to set my stop break even. They're pushing lower. It looks like liquidity dried up and there's backticking now, which tells me the move is over. I'm going to move my stop and see if they'll get me a lucky fill there. More backticking. The book dries up. 17. The book dries up again. So buyers are pushing back now. We're probably going to hit my stop before we hit my exit. Fine. I'm going to scratch again and try to play it again. If they reload like they are right now, I'm going to left click. 26 is absorbed here, and we're sitting on the offer, which is a sign of bullishness. They offer lower on low tape, so it's passive participants driving the move. 16 and 3, 29. They plunge buy side again. We're lifting the offer now past my area of entry. Tape clears up and it looks like a breakout. Price jumps higher. 17 and 16, the auction shifting. I'm going to give it 3 ticks of room. I want to see the inside print slam, and I want to see this go down. Right, but it looks like we're just going to get absorbed, and we are. I'm going to move my stop. And then I'm going to, shucks. That's fine. And then I'm going to flip bearish. I missed the move because I right-clicked again. I'm moving lower now. There's some upticking. They sit on the offer. So the floor is right there. Right click, left click. Buyer right there. I want to see if he moves the price up. We have upticking now, which tells me to get out. 11 and 22, 22, 15, 17, 8, 14. The auction's right there though, which is good news. 36 and 10, more down ticking from sellers. More upticking from buyers, it's not good. 24 and 28, the auction's still shifting lower, but the bid ask is lifting higher. I don't want to get shaken out of the trade, but it's very possible. 14, 17, and 17s. The offer lifts again. 18s and 15s. 36. We plunge lower. Seller steps in. If that's just going to be absorption, if nothing happens. 24 and 7s. There's a key right there. 48. I'm going to get behind this guy and see if they can fill it. The market's seeking liquidity, probably. And then they run it all the way back higher. It looks like I missed my exit, and I'm going to scratch. Sit on my hands. We're sitting there now. Sells lower. We're building balance here now. I'm looking for buyers to kick up. They're pushing here. Move it a tick lower. Let's see if I can get a lucky fill. They're not going to let me. They're just going to plunge up here. Yeah. They filled me on a short. I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out there. I'm pressing the wrong button again. I'm short 3. One, two. I'm short 6. I'm getting out. I forgot how to get out. One, two, three, 4, 5. Okay. So that just blew out my profits for the day. Yeah. Which is insane to think about, but hit the bid, get out of the short, with the right click, enter with the left click. Okay. I wish I could just scratch it, but They would have charged me a fill on it. It was more upticking. $102 trades. That's kind of nuts. $101 and then immediate downticking. I'm out. Okay. Buyers are still in control because the queue is stuck. Sellers are pushing lower, but buyers are offering. Some more demand, and we push higher. There's still more demand. The auction's shifting higher. Let me catch this. Just the switching of hands. They sell 18s, 19s. The ask shifts lower. Sellers are in control now. They print 40. Buyers plunge 56 stacks. They're sitting on the offer though. Price comes lower as they sit on the offer. It tells me to get out. I'm gonna hold it. They stop me out. So I watched it reverse on me. 32, they're holding the queue. 38's absorbed. 51, we downtick again. The same area of liquidity dries up on a market side from them selling. 18 and 25, we see more upticking from buyers. 15, 16, 24, 28, 25, right? But the floor doesn't appear to be holding anymore, so it might be time to get out. We jump up to 68 evens, and then they ask lower. We get back there, they ask lower again. We hit 67.50, it's time to get out. We rally higher, I'm watching flow now. The auction shifts, there's a seller at 62. The auction was there, but it moved higher, so we're going higher now off of that. 27 and 30, 19. Looks like they're reloading the offer. Well, it's an even distribution and a positive auction then. So it looks like we're going to the upside. And then they sell 68.25 and 68.50s, 56. There's more down taking. And I didn't really sign up for a 30-minute long trade, if that makes sense. Even though the price is holding. I'm gonna move my stop. 48.20, the auction's shifting. I'm out because the auction's shifting, right? Then that'll just be break even. Let me scratch this before it hits me. Now see how we're filling the distribution here. But liquidity is not drying up there, which is interesting. I'm gonna get out before they hit me again. I think I need to give my trades more leg room. It might be dangerous, but whatever, we just keep trading until we're profitable. 27, there are buyers now. There's weak back ticking. I'm filled. I'm looking for a fast move because of the initial buying, but the auction shifts. I'm gonna move this a bit lower. 26 and 28, 31, buyers are winning. They stack the queue, but they're sitting on the offer. The ask moves lower. 39, 42, the sellers are winning now. 26 and the auction shifts lower. Those people were sellers because we moved up so high. These people got liquidated here. And we're going to move higher off of them, I think, a couple ticks. NQ rallies, 15 and 25, 18 and 24, the auction shifts higher, and they fill me. Now sellers step in here. They won't give me a fill. I think I bid 70, 50. Tape stops. Sellers get absorbed. See more upticking. The auction shifting. Buyers are getting absorbed now. It's time to move the stop on the absorption of buyers. See 94, and we can't move it up. And then we sit here. If there's more back ticking. 38, they're stacking the queue now. 26 is running out. 36. Buyers have a hold now. They're holding it. They run the queue and they fill it. That's interesting that buyers got absorbed. I was ready to get out. 47, 9. 26 and 14. They're not letting it move lower. They're going to restack the queue, I think. Well, the auction's right there. 24 and 61. I'll bite. See how it's backticking over and over again? That tells me that we move lower. I'm going to flip sell side, put a stop there, then exit right there. Because of the backticking specifically. When the backticking stops and we run 70, 50, I'm out. The ask lifts. I'm watching the tape now. There's 47 on the ask. They're lifting the asks now. I'm going to get out if it does that to me again. I'm out. They're going to run it higher, and I want to be. We're long now. And the moment I flip long, the offer shifts slower, but that's fine. 34, 10. So they flicker the ask, I flip, and then I get short, and they blow me out. Sorry, I'm frustrated is all. The auction's right there. There's upticking. They're rally without me. The sellers are winning here. They walk it down back into here. The man there. Sellers are still in control. $27 and $41. The offer looks like it's shifting higher. 55, the bid's thickening up. 42, there's more upticking. I'm going to hold the trade though. 51. I'm on the bottom of a value area here. It's going to be time to get out. Yeah. So that's just a huge loss. They can't move it lower on 27. $86. Buyers in control. Down ticking. They run out. That's fine, even though I got a weird fill on it. If they run out, we're good to go. 31. More down ticking. Auction shifts. Seller steps in. Buyer gets absorbed. 32. Trade's going in my favor, even though it's behind me. 32 and 11. 49. They stack the queue. Buyers don't want to give it up. They're losing now. Bring my stop down. 14, upticking from buyers. 44, they stack the queue again. 10, 3 and 10, 47, 21, 39. More upticking from buyers. 35 on the ask. More upticking. 52. They're getting absorbed here. They can't lift the offer like they should. They lifted the offer on low size. 36, 33, 19, 47. They plunge the queue and they move lower on the seller. Liquidity dries up on buy side. There's an auction right there. Dries up on sell side. 52, 23. There's a buyer there who's holding price up. They're going to rally it in a minute if sellers lose. This 50, if it prints through, I'm going to get out. Looks like they're eating this 50. They are eating the 50. 42, 31, 8. This one runs out. They tick lower. Sellers win by like a little bit. 41, 28, 56 rebids. This buyer is still here. 61, 30. The auction shifts. 57. They're up ticking higher. This is a completely buy-driven trade, and I'm on the wrong side of it. Seller sells lower and they get absorbed. There's just too much bullish momentum here. 12 and 14, little auction. 30 and 50. Are they going to chew through 46? Probably not. 15 and 37, 40. They run out. The ask reloads. There's a floor there, and I'm about ready to throw in the towel. But the auction shifts lower again. I'm wondering if the buyers have run out here, and it doesn't look like it. The size is getting smaller, but they're being passively absorbed by a seller, I think. Up there, 15 and 11, who wants an auction down here. There's tremendous uptaking. Another 51, but nothing happens at 72.25. 51 and 8, 7, 22, 45. They just keep reloading and they won't let price move higher. It's going to blow me out in a second because of buyer demand who drives the active participant. I'm gonna scratch. And then move lower. Demand from buyers now. It dries up. And you sell off. I'm gonna set my stop way back. I'm just looking for back taking now off of the flow. You can't get above this level and there are no buyers. You're gonna walk it lower without me. There's an auction there. Sellers are in control. 33, 32, 23. We're up taking the auction holds. They finally fill me, but it looks like they filled me on buyers. Yep, 44, 17, and then there's uptaking. And these sellers get absorbed here at this entire line. And we move down 15 and 11, 28, 24, 46, 16, and 13. That's not what I want to see. I get out. I'm gonna wrap it up here because I'm losing money anyways. Like there has to be, yeah, almost negative 500. There has to be um a way to trade. Do you know what I mean? And this obviously isn't it. So I am kind of learning trial by fire, but there has to be a way to accelerate the learning curve. I'm gonna figure that out.